Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patience and welcome to Sew with Pepper. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing us how to make this stylish v-neck bubu kaftan. So if you're interested in learning how to make this dress, stay with me through this video. So I folded my fabric into 4. So I'll be cutting both the front and the back piece together. As you can see, I folded it into 4. So after that, we take our shoulder measurements. You take your shoulder and divide it into 2. So mine is 7. So our neck width, I'll be using 3 inches, and the neck depth, I'll be using 2 inches. So I'll just go ahead now to curve it. So I went ahead now to take my 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'm so sorry, my camera could not capture the place, but just connect it to the neck. So as you can see, that's my 1 inch. The 1 inch I came down for my shoulder slope. So we'll be cutting the sleeve together with the dress. It's going to be a joint sleeve. So my sleeve length, I use 11.5. I used 11.5. So for the wideness of the sleeve, I used 9 inches. So after that, we'll go ahead now to take our full dress length. Take our full dress length measurements. I actually use the full length of the fabric though, but we'll mark our shoulder to bust, our shoulder to tummy, and our shoulder to hip. So you are going to use the biggest circumference of your measurements. So mine is actually my hip. My hip is 40, so I used 10 and I added 5 inches for the allowance. I added 5 inches because I wanted mine to be very big and pronounced. But if you want yours to be like a little bit smaller than that, you can just add 3 inches or 4. So we'll be marking, so the 10 inches that I marked plus the 5 inches together is 15 inches. So I'm going to mark the 15 inches throughout. I'm going to mark the 15 inches in my bust, in my tummy, in my waist, in my hip, in my knee downward, 15 inches. So after that, I'll just go ahead now to connect it, to connect the lines from the 9 inches I took for the wideness of my sleeve, connecting it to the 15 inches I marked. As you can see, I'm trying to measure to know if it's actually 15 inches. So I'll just mark the 15 inches downwards. So basically we've done measuring, so we'll just go ahead now to cut. So after you're done cutting, we'll just remove one piece for the back. We'll remove one piece for the back and we're going to be working with the other piece for the front. So we'll go ahead now to work on the neck. So I went down by 10 inches. As you can see, I went down by 10 inches. So on the 10 inches, I came in by 1 inch. I went down by 10 inches. On the 10 inches, I came in by 1 inch. So you just connect from that very neck to the 1 inch. As you can see, you're just going to connect from the very neck to the 1 inch. It's going to give it like a V kind of shape, as you can see. So after that, now you just cut it out. So after you're done cutting it out, this is how it's gonna look. If your neck is not like this, that means you are not actually following me. But if your neck is like this, that means you're actually on the right track. So after that, it's time to join the shoulder, the right side facing the right side. So we are going to join the shoulder. As you can see, I place the right side facing the right side. So I'll just go ahead to join the shoulder from the left side and also from the right side. So I'll just quickly do it now with my sewing machine and come back and show you. So as you can see, I'm done joining my shoulders. So after you're done joining your shoulder, from that very 1 inch you took inside from, that's where you're going to start measuring from. So you measure it round. You measure it round. You can see what I'm doing. You just measure it round carefully. Measure it round. To that very 1 inch you started from. And as you can see, I had 30 inches. I'll just go ahead now to cut out 30 inches for the fabric I want to use. So guys, I'm actually making use of sequins, but you can make use of any material of your choice. So for the wideness, I'll be using 2.5. I'll be using 2.5. So I'll just mark the 2.5. Mark the 2.5 to the 30 inches I measured. So you remember the neck measurement is 30. You will not just cut on the 30 directly. You add like 2 or 3 inches for allowance. So I added 3 inches, making it 33. And the wideness, I made use of 2.5. So this is me here cutting it out. So we are done cutting the neck attachment. As you can see, I cut it on fold. As you can see, I cut it on fold. So I'll just fold it. You can see it's 5 inches. For the wideness is 5 inches, but when I fold it, it will be 2.5. And the length, I told you my length is 30, so I added 3 inch, making it 33. So this is how you're going to attach this to your neck. As you can see, I folded it into 2. From that very place you took the 1 inch, that's where you're going to start sewing. I'm trying to pin it so you understand what I'm doing. I'll just go ahead now to pin them round. I'll go ahead now to pin them round. So the places you see me pinning round the neck, that is the place you're going to be sewing on. Round the neck, round. So I pinned, as you can see, I pinned up to that very place. Where I started, that is where you're going to end. As you can see our SS, but we are going to cut that off after we are done sewing. So I'll just go to my sewing machine now and sew it round and come back to show you. So I'm done sewing. As you can see, I'm done sewing, and that's our SS. I'll just go ahead to trim it out. Just go ahead now to trim it out. As you can see how it is, we just went ahead to sew it round. So this is exactly how it's going to be placed, like this. If you don't want yours to be wider, you know that you're going to reduce the neck depth. So as you can see, that's exactly how we are going to just go ahead now to stitch it together, to stitch the downside together. So we'll just move on to the design in front now. So the dimension for this is 12 inches at the right, at the left, at the bottom. 12 inches. So it's just going to be a square. Basically it's a square shape, so we'll just cut out our square shape. You can decide to even attach it like that, like the square shape. You can decide to attach it. You can just manipulate it. You can make it a rectangle, you can make it a circle, but I actually want to manipulate mine. I want to manipulate my square. So as you can see, the both angles are 12 inches. So just like so, I was going to manipulate the square. From the left hand side, I went in by 3 inches, as you can see, 3 inches. So I'll just go ahead now to fold the 3 inches inside like this. As you can see how I'm doing like this, you just fold it like that. So basically you just do the same for the right side and also for the left side. For the bottom, like mean the under part of the square, the down part of the square, sorry, the down part of the square, you take 3 inches this side and 3 inches this side, and you just fold it. Okay, you just fold it. And then this other side also, I went in by 3 inches also, as you can see. Went in by 3 inches. That's the left side, the left side, not the right side, the left side. As you can see, I folded it like this. So this is what we are going to use to cut out our fabric. So we'll just place our pattern on the fabric and cut it out. As you're cutting, endeavor to add either 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch for your turning, because we'll be cutting lining also for the turning. So after I was done cutting, I added lining to my own, so I went ahead to turn the lining and also iron it. But if you're not using lining, you can just hem the mouth of the design round and it's okay. So after that, you just make sure you stitch it down. Try to stitch that place I'm trying to, because I've not stitched mine. Try to stitch it down and you place it on top. You place it on top of it, and you use your pins to hold all of them down, and you go ahead to sew it round. So after that, now we'll move to our sleeve. So I'll be putting the sequence also on the sleeve. I'll be attaching the sequence also on the sleeve. It actually gives it a more beautiful look if you attach the same material you use for the neck and the design on the sleeve. It gives it a more beautiful look. So for my sleeve length, I had 18 inches. So 18 inches for the length, and I'll be using 2.5 inches for the wideness. You remember that 2.5, I'm actually cutting it on fold, but if it's not folded, you can cut 5 inches. So now I'm done cutting the attachment for the sleeve. I told you for the wideness is actually on fold 2.5 inches, and for the length I went ahead to cut 19 inches, but the length is 18 inches. I just added 1 inch for allowance. So I went ahead now to cut another piece for the other hand. So now this is exactly how you're going to fix it. This is exactly how you're going to attach it. You can see I just placed it like that, like this on fold, and just sew it straight, as you can see. So after I was done sewing the attachment to the hand, to the sleeve, I went ahead now to join the sides, and as you can see, that's my design right there. So I went ahead also to put pockets on the dress, but it's actually optional. So guys, if you find this video interesting, please subscribe to my channel and drop a comment below, and also give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. See you in my next video.